The Chorus Girl. Hello young reader, I'm the voracious bibliomaniac who relishes in devouring literature. In this video, I'll be talking about the story which I read recently, The Chorus Girl, by the Russian author Anton P. Chekhov. I assure that you'll enjoy this video better after you've read the story. Summary. The story begins with Nikolai Petrovich Kolpakov in Pasha's room. Pasha is a young singer and prostitute whom Nikolai has taken a fancy to. While they are eating, drinking and enjoying themselves, the doorbell rings. Pasha thinks perhaps it's the mailman or one of Pasha's girlfriends. As Pasha turns to open the door, meanwhile Nikolai goes to hide in an adjacent room. But when she opens the door, she is surprised to find an unknown lady standing. The lady asks if her husband is in the room. But, as Pasha didn't even know the lady, needless to say she didn't even know her husband. Then the lady says, "My husband, Nikolai Petrovich." Pasha trembles with fear. She manages to lie that there was no such person named Nikolai in her room. Then Nikolai's wife starts to abuse her. She calls Pasha vile, mean, repulsive. She also states that it makes no difference whether Pasha reveals it or not, because there has been a theft. He's being looked for and will be arrested. She further goes on insulting Pasha with vexation. She asserts that even if Pasha is attractive, there is the law that will intercede for her and her children. That God is omniscient and will punish her for each and every one of her tears. At this point Pasha tells her that she really doesn't know anything about the theft, for the matter. The wife calls her a liar. She tells she had been suspecting for a long time, and she knows over the past month Nikolai had spent every day with her. She tells that now, he has even stooped so low to the level of committing a theft for the sake of an unprincipled evil creature like Pasha. Stealing one's husband is one thing, but stealing his wife's, his children's money and food is to have no trace of human feeling. But still there was on way to save the family from hunger, poverty and disgrace. If they deposit 900 rubles, they will be left peacefully. But Pasha hadn't had any 900 rubles from Nikolai at all. And how would wife believe this? The wife tells that she is not asking her money, but just to return all the things and gifts her husband had given her. The only two things he had given her was a hollow gold bracelet and a cheap little ring with ruby. Now, the wife felt deeply insulted and humiliated. She told she was not begging her for alms. She wanted her to justly return what her husband had gifted. She had seen her in church with expensive brooches, bracelets and many more fashionable adornments. But Nikolai had given her nothing apart from those two ornaments while she had already returned. And a few times he brought little pastries apart from these, nothing else. While the wife and children were starving, he had brought her pastries. Meanwhile, in silence, the wife pondered how to find a way of obtaining 900 rubles from her. Should she kill her, or should she go on her knees and beg and request her? However, she again implores her to have mercy on her starving children, to not let herself swoop away to poverty and privation. Pasha tells though she is accused of ruining Nikolai Petrovich and his family, she in fact has never profited from him, that they still get on poorly and sustainably. The wife retorts that she is weeping, that she is ready to go on her knees, but to only be returned the things. This phrase of, going on knees, out of pride, out of nobility, to elevate herself and to humiliate the chorus girl, this idea appalled Pasha. So, she searched her drawers, closets and gives her objects and gifts. Even though they were not Nikolai's gifts, she gives her a brooch of diamonds, a coral necklace, several rings and a bracelet. Pasha, now abjectly sullen, tells the lawful wife should have kept him by herself instead of falsely alleging. To make matters worse, the wife tells that all those would hardly make up to 500 rubles. Pasha impulsively flung a gold watch, a cigarette case, and a pair of cufflinks. All these, needless to say, were not at all his gifts. Pasha was irritated at this false allegation. The wife packed all these up shamelessly, not saying a word, not even nodding her head, left the room. After his wife left, Nikolai emerged from the adjacent room. Pasha asked him angrily what he had brought her, that she should be accused as told before. But here, instead of answering her query, he was astonished that his wife was ready to bring herself to knees, for such a slut like her. "No, I'll never forgive myself. Never. Get away from me, you thrash." He cried in revulsion, stepping back from Pasha, squeamishly avoiding her, and left the room. She was now sorry for things which she had given away on an impulse. My thoughts. This is a highly ironical situation. While the wife accuses Pasha of being a cause for the theft committed, it is she who actually steals from Pasha the goods which is not hers, by manipulation. She commits the sin, which she accuses the innocent of. Meanwhile, Pasha, although innocent, is made dumb by the baseness of her occupation. She has no expensive gifts from Nikolai, but the wife doesn't accept the truth. To argue this would be even ironical and difficult for Pasha, because Nikolai is in the very adjacent room. Not satisfied with those items, the only ones her husband had proved Pasha, the wife further provokes Pasha, humiliates her, and manages to steal away what is not hers. Whereas, the husband, instead of acknowledging the baseness and unfairness in his wife, gets astonished at the fact that his wife were ready to go on knees for a slut, completely ignoring the theft which she committed. Although he seems nonplussed and humiliated at this fact, he seems to forget he had gone on knees, in his dissipation, for which he seems so astonished for when he thought of his wife. He also slips out carefully, avoiding her. Many a times, it so happens that we are also figuratively in the position of the husband. We are ignorant of our faults, sins, mistakes, and when it's somehow revealed in someone, we miraculously manage to disdain others, completely obliviate to our own imperfection. It is also futile to argue in favor of Pasha. The corrupted nature of her occupation has somehow, imperceivably contaminated her, without making her aware of it. Although she states the truth, it is unbelievable to others. The three morals I learned in this story are: L. Don't be like the wife. Don't accuse others of the sin which you are not devoid of. 2. Don't be like the husband. Do not disdain others, obliviate of your own imperfection. 3. Don't be like Pasha. Don't be impulsive, and also let your work be pure in the sense, so that you are not tinged or imbued with false accusations. I'm obliged to you for staying so far. If you did like my video, consider hitting the subscribe button.